Hi, friends. Welcome to day 3 of the Business Plan Challenge. And today we're going to dive into what you sell, whether it's a product or a service. And so we're going to look more deeply at why people want your product or service and really thinking through how your product and service addresses that need and really creates the solution that you want to create for your customers with that problem. In a business plan, this section is typically called the opportunity. And this is a spreadsheet that you can use this spreadsheet. It'll be available a little bit after these videos come out because all of these videos will be linked inside of it once they've all been published. So, the opportunity, when you think about a business plan, often they're written for the purpose of getting investment and getting people interested in your business in any format, right? If you're getting people on board, that could be people working for you, that could be getting you clear for your customers. I really teach that the business plan can be used to help any business move forward. It's certainly common for a business plan to be created for the purpose of getting investment. And so when you think about it from an investor's perspective, the opportunity section, this is where you're really trying to communicate that opportunity that you see. And it can be really powerful, even if you're just starting a business yourself, for you to get clear on this so that you don't get distracted in the details of making the business happen. So the first thing I have here is to really start, before you do this little 20-minute exercise, start by restating that statement that you made in day 1, your business goal, and really embody that vision as possible and as rapidly coming to you and coming together. All right, so the first question for today goes back to one of the questions we answered yesterday. What problem does your business solve for customers? So you really want to focus in on what the problem is and really note here if this is something that you're guessing about or if you have direct words from clients and customers or future clients and customers. And just note that. Certainly, you obviously know that you know about the problem you're solving. And even if you're doing something funner, it doesn't have to be a serious mission-based business. You might be selling impulse products or doing something else as well, but there's still, right, a problem for your customer. You're still solving a problem. Like there's still, even if it's an impulse buy, right? That's impulse buying can make people feel really good. So you're solving that problem. So just note how clear you are there so that when you're talking to possible customers, you're really alert at getting their exact words on this problem that you're solving. And again, remember, this is one sentence. So just pop in your one sentence and go on to the next question and be aware of this going forward. So this question number 2, why is this problem worth solving? In other words, what are the deeper impacts of solving this problem for that person? So with that example for the impulse buy, right? It could be a deeper problem. Well, they love this type of product and shopping, they get a thrill out of that or in what that means to their life, right? There's always a deeper problem. And so really kind of dig into that for a moment. Why is that problem you just stated worth solving? And if it's something like, you take clients and customers out of pain, right? Why is that worth solving? Well, because pain is affecting their entire life and their ability to be present and experience real joy. So it can get pretty deep. And that's what that question is designed to do, is to probe you to go deeper because that's how marketing, that's how you connect with your customer in marketing. For the third question, how is your product or service specifically solving this problem for your clients? So that's really connecting what you're doing to this problem. Really asking about the solution you're creating. You know, what is the solution you're creating for them? So now we'll jump into a little exercise. And if you're doing this on a piece of paper, just list out 2 columns and think through your service or product in terms of steps. So if you have a service, think through the steps you take in delivering that service to your clients. There's always steps, even if you didn't think about it that way. You know, you might have just been going through the motions, or maybe you're just thinking about offering a service, and this is great to do up front. Think through those steps, and you can compare to another business. You know, if you're not too sure those steps you want to take, if you've done this type of work for another business, you know, just think through the steps of delivering that service. And if it's a product, think through the steps that your customer experiences with your product from the moment they get it. And so once you kind of have your list, go through the thought process, then go through each area where you're connecting, delivering the service, because each of those areas is an opportunity for you, right, to deliver on the solution you're creating and to really stand out, right, from other companies and other people offering something that solves this problem, regardless of if it's direct competition with you or not. So how does this address their problem and or create the solution in each aspect? And as with all of this, if you're currently in business, you know, you can think about it how you're currently thinking about doing it, and then maybe, you know, be aware that, oh, okay, this is an opportunity to really level up and maybe do something different or more detailed. So we're staying really big picture here. That's it for kind of thinking through that area of your business. And now the next little exercise, because like I said, everything is about data with a business plan and really being able to quantify things. So we're going to think through your product or service. And if you're selling products and services, obviously you could have many. Think about one, just pick one, maybe your core offering or your core, you know, maybe your biggest selling product or what you think will be your business biggest selling product. And we're going to go through your direct costs. And you want to think about one product or service and think about all of the costs that go into providing that service or selling that product to the customer. And by direct costs, I mean that they're directly related. So this doesn't include what's called overhead costs, things like, you know, professionals that you hire or buildings that you own. So that's all overhead costs. We'll deal with that later. But for now, just think through that one product or service and brainstorm what are the costs. And you can list them here. I included some examples, like for a service, labor at $100 per hour for 5 hours, $500. And always include your time as well. And then I said a bookbinder and shipping, maybe this is like an online consulting project, $160. So then this will automatically, you can fill in here and you can add more, obviously, especially if you're doing this on paper. Fill in as much as you need. You may have a lot, you may have few, but just start your brain thinking in this way about your product and service and about an individual product and service. So this cell totals up, adds up all of the direct costs that you list here. Then think through a month of sales, right? Just to start seeing these numbers. How many sales per month? You enter that here. I said 22. Sales price per sale, $1,200. Monthly income, $26,400. Then the total expenses are equal to this direct cost per service, in this case, times the total amount of sales per month. That's $14,520. And so the net income for the month is $11,880. That's just your basic income calculation for direct cost. Overhead costs, there's all different ways to deal with overhead costs, and I'll be talking about that a little later on in the training. Like when you think through the costs of your service or product, think in terms of if you were to provide the best that you wanted to provide, that you're inspired to provide, and cost wasn't an issue. Like you had millions of dollars in the bank. Think it through that way, because we'll be talking about hiring people soon and really developing your departments. And when you think from that place of no limitation, it's actually just about the value you're providing. That's what makes for a really successful plan, is when you do things right and you have the people involved. And that's what makes for plans that people are really interested in investing in. Now, the last questions here are bonus. But the most important one here is, what are or will be your biggest challenges? Really set a timer. I'm a big fan of timer setting, 5 minutes. What are your biggest challenges? And a big tip I can give you is brainstorm how addressing each of these challenges creatively could create more opportunity. You know, whatever people talk about in your industry as being the biggest challenge or the most problematic thing, the thing that annoys people the most, and this is true of every industry, every business. If you're able to zero into that and not do what everyone else is doing, and you're able to look at it as an opportunity to excel, because when you change that so that it's not burdensome to your business, you will stand out. All right, so that's just an opportunity to brainstorm some challenges, really in regards to delivering that product or service, because that's what we're focusing on today. And then the last two bonus questions I have, especially if you are making a formal business plan, is your mission statement and your vision statement, because these are really based on the opportunity. And, you know, that includes the problem and the solution that you are creating with your product or service. So what is the essence of why you solve the problem you solve? You know, what does it stand for? And that's often what a mission statement is, right? Like Apple is think differently. You know, and that develops over time. When you start out, you don't have a deep mission statement. And really, this is, you know, it's just something to think about lightly. Then your vision statement, what do you want to make standard in the world because of your unique solution? You know, describe what that impact looks like after you've succeeded at making your product or service commonplace. Now, that's if it's a really, a deeper business, right? If you're doing something that you really have something you stand for. Congratulations on day 3. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below this video. See you in day 4.